Greetings, Garden City residents. It is my honor as your mayor to provide this 2019 State of the City address. I would like to offer a recap of city activities from this past year, as well as mention some of our plans for the future. 2018 was a very productive year for Garden City, but nothing is done in a vacuum. I should first acknowledge our outstanding City Council. Working with me this past year was Mayor Pro Tem Mark Jacobs, Council members Jaylee Lynch, Brian Earl, Pat Squires, Pat McCarge, and Kelly Kerwin. Last spring, the City Council hired Doc Doherty as our new city manager, who has been very instrumental in the many positive changes I will speak about today. First and foremost, on behalf of the City Council, I want to thank the voters of Garden City for their support of the roads vote this past summer. As of the whole state of Michigan, our roads are in dire need of repair. But thanks to the voters of Garden City, we can finally do something about it. I truly believe the future will prove that the renaissance of Garden City started with the passage of the roads vote. Starting this spring, Garden City will experience some great road work, continuing through the summer and into the fall. And then, the best part is that we will start all over again next spring and the spring after with more road construction. Over the next 5 years, $15 million of road work will include the reconstruction of asphalt and concrete roads, the patching and sectioning of other roads, and the joint and crack sealing of others. Again, we can't thank the voters enough for helping to make Garden City more viable by investing into our roads and in turn, investing into ourselves. In 2018, Brad Oman, a 35-year employee who started with the city in 1984, became the new director of our Public Works Department. This past summer, DPW embarked on a new program called the 4x4 Neighborhood Improvement Program. The program is designed to target city services in a 4-block area over a period of 4 weeks. By directing efforts into one area, the city can have a more visible and sustainable impact in our neighborhoods and help them begin to turn around years of decline. In addition, DPW was busy completing 318 yards of concrete road patchwork, rebuilding 35 catch basin water gate structures, upgraded all traffic signs around our schools, and painted the crosswalks. DPW also repaired 122 water main breaks. They put 19 fire hydrants back into service, trimmed over 300 trees, removed and stump grinded 109 trees, cleaned 42 miles of sanitary sewer mains, and repaired 15 sinkholes. Every day, DPW is accomplishing tasks such as repairing and painting all the picnic tables in our city parks and adding safety mulch to all city playgrounds and completing ball field maintenance and fence repair. Thanks to DPW for a great job they do in cleaning our streets of snow and ice all winter long. The department is invaluable, so the City Council embarked this year on a plan to replace outdated equipment. To be more efficient in getting the work done, you will see numerous pieces of new work equipment traveling throughout the city, replacing equipment that dated back to the 1980s. As I turn now to public safety, I'd like to take a moment to speak about code enforcement. Several big changes to code enforcement took place this past year, not the least being the changing of the name to code compliance. It truly is our hope for all residents and our business owners to comply with our city rules and ordinances. To help our residents understand these laws, a booklet called The Golden Book is being mailed to every city property. In the spring, the police administration teamed ordinance officers with police officers for a 1-week push to fight blight. During that time, officers placed 352 notices on homes and vehicles asking the owners to correct their nuisance. In the fall, the Code Compliance Bureau conducted an educational campaign to educate businesses about common code violations and ways to better improve their properties to promote Garden City businesses and the community as a whole. 2018 also saw the Garden City Police Department, led by Police Chief Tim Gibbons, create a new position called the Community Resource Officer. The mission of the CRO is to engage in the community to provide services, communication, and a response beyond the normal patrol officers. Officer Bruce Shippey handler of our canine dog, named Rudy, was named the first CRO and has hit the ground running, holding police events, attending community meetings, and developing programs to better engage with and serve the citizens of Garden City. Some of the programs that the police department brought to the residents include Coffee with a Canine, Cop on the Block, the Video Information Sharing Partnership, the Police Open House, and the Police Bike Rodeo. The police department additionally had a great success training churches, schools, and businesses on the ALYSE method of responding to an active shooter situation. Through this effort, Garden City students, churchgoers, and employees are better prepared to protect themselves and others from an active shooter. As we always look for ways to assist in emergency situations, police officers receive training on 2 life-saving devices that each patrol officer now carries as part of the regular patrol. Tourniquets used to stop blood loss trauma victims, and the drug Narcan, which is used to stop overdoses and is particularly effective in saving people from opioid overdoses. All of these tools were each used in 2018 to save lives. It is often amazing on how one action many times leads to another. This past year saw our patrol officers stop and arrest a subject committing a burglary, which led to our Garden City detectives to uncover and identify a multi-state, high-dollar burglary ring. In a separate case, our patrol officers apprehended another subject for breaking into and stealing from vehicles, leading our detectives to solve numerous other thefts both in and out of Garden City. By working with the 21st District Court, the police department requested and received approval for a grant to achieve better access for indigent criminal defendants and their attorneys. This grant included the partial funding of a new police officer and the construction of a new meeting space. And another show of support for our police department, in 2018, we added an officer to the Western Wayne Community Response Team Consortium. Through partnering with other police agencies, including the Michigan State Police, our police department now has an increased ability to respond to local criminal investigations that require additionally trained staff and resources. By the end of 2018, the police department officers responded to well over 18,000 calls for service, made over 1,200 arrests, and issued nearly 6,000 violations. Compared to 2017, Garden City saw a significant reduction in the theft crimes overall, including a near 50% decrease in both larcenies from motor vehicles and motor vehicle theft. In turning to our outstanding fire department, led by Fire Chief Kathy Harmon, our firefighters responded to 3,300 emergency calls in 2018. This number is 214 more calls than in 2017. Of the emergency calls our fire department dealt with, 85 structure fires, 125 calls for hazardous conditions, such as smoke and gas leaks, and over 2,300 emergency medical calls. Through our mutual aid and helping other neighboring cities, we helped other fire departments 322 times, while departments from other cities helped us 136 times. Among the many daily calls our fire department makes, public education continues to be a focus of the department. Beyond the well-attended open house event that the fire department hosts annually, our firefighters attended nearly 40 community events, including school trips for Fire Safety Month, block parties, and ribbon-cutting ceremonies. They also hosted numerous station visits, tours, CPR classes, and car seat inspections. In the limited time our firefighters have at the station when they are not on an emergency call, the department files for grants to support their mission. Most people do not know that 3 firefighters of our 21-member fire department are funded by a $280,000 federal grant. Through the efforts of our firefighters, they also received a grant from Firehouse Subs for $23,000 for new life-saving equipment. In addition, due to money donated to the department by the Garden City Presbyterian Church, several hundred smoke detectors had been purchased, distributed, and installed throughout the community. Many of those detectors were installed for senior citizens and those with disabilities, unable to install them for themselves. This past year, the council approved the reinstatement of the fire marshal position. This position is now responsible for increased safety in our business districts, as well as the establishment of a proactive fire safety regulations. 2018 was also a very busy year for our planning, zoning, and building department. With 2019 expecting to be even bigger, the departments are overseen by the Buccelli Group and the McKenna Associates. This past year, the building department issued 145 residential rental certificates, 63 commercial certificates of occupancy, and 432 residential certificates of occupancy. We continue to work closely with the building department to find ways to improve our customer service to our community, with a goal to encourage growth and the removal of blight in our city. In our city clerk treasurer department, we have hired Matthew Miller as a new clerk treasurer. Matt brings to Garden City over 25 years of municipal experience as we continue to focus on the city's fiscal diligence and responsibility. Following the trend from the past few years, the fund balance has been increased, allowing the city to be more financially secure. Through the collaborative efforts of City Council, administration, department heads, and our outstanding employees, the city maximized every dollar. A change the City Council made this past year to be more customer-oriented was to open City Hall on Fridays. Many thanks to the staff for their adjustment to the workflow and schedules to provide better service to our residents. To provide even better service, a new drop box was installed on the north side of City Hall with easy access to drop off your payments for taxes and water bills. 2 successful elections were held in the city in 2018 with a record turnout. Elections are a huge team effort with coordination of many departments and their hiring and training of at least 70 election inspectors. Many thanks to all involved in this very important part of our democracy. Our community shred days continue to be very popular. This past year's events included a great food collection fundraiser for our home pantry and prescription drug disposal. As always, the mobile Secretary of State office was on location in the City Hall parking lot during Shred Day to renew your driver's license, obtain new tabs and plates, and register to vote. Maplewood Community Center, managed by Monica Fulton, is a hub of activity in town by offering community programs for youth, seniors, needy families, as well as space for many community group board meetings. Weekly programs offered include dance classes, aerobics, cardio, drumming, yoga, cheerleading, and self-defense classes. 10 different community groups, including the Business Alliance, Kiwanis, Garden Club, Soccer Club, GCYAA, Figure Skating Club, and Relay for Life, use the center for their board meetings and special events. In addition, 9 different self-help groups meet weekly at the center. All Garden City residents can find support with Overeaters Anonymous, Narcotics and Gamblers Anonymous, Refuge Recovery, and Taking Off Pounds Sensibly. New in 2018, the Maplewood Center staff partnered with MSU Extension and 4-H to bring year-round educational programs like robotics, crafts, and financial education to our youth. In addition, the Maplewood Center is home to our home pantry, the Senior Center, the Family Resource Center, and the Community Support Office. Our home pantry continues to be a support to many families in Garden City by distributing 34,480 pounds of food to local families. Each month, the pantry provided to an average of 300 adults and children. Throughout the year, 62 emergency bags were given to individuals that came into the community center declaring to be in a food crisis. This can only be done through the annual support of local businesses, organizations, and individual residents who donate their time, money, and food items to the pantry in the amount of $16,000 in donation and 1,200 hours of volunteer support. Each week, Panera Bread donates day-old bakery items valuing $25,000 annually, and Walgreens donates a box of items valued at $150 weekly. Many of our senior residents took part in Mother's Day tea celebration, St. Patrick's Day gathering, and the annual Christmas party. Health and wellness programs were also available throughout the year, including a walking club, an arthritis exercise class, Tai Chi, yoga, tops, and fitness room for seniors only. While 2 card clubs met each week at the Maplewood Center, there were also a bingo game weekly and various educational seminars. A great unsung program at the Maplewood Center is the Family Resource Center, which in 2018 provided services to nearly 200 youth and their families for a total of over 8,400 hours of face-to-face services. The Healthy Kids, Happy Families program assisted over 100 families with the application process for health insurance and/or food assistance. Also in 2018, Garden City became the first community in Michigan to install a national fitness campaign fitness court in our city park. As a community program, together we successfully raised over $102,000 in sponsorships, donations, and grants to make this a reality. To help make all these programs a reality, the CRD received over $852,000 in grant funding. And over the past 4 years, our community received $5.7 million in grant funding. Connected to the Maplewood Center is our valuable library, managed by James Lentz. Community support for the library saw the voter passage of an operating millage renewal to keep the library running for years to come. Last year, the library experienced well over 69,000 visitors who checked out over 76,000 items. Guests to the library also logged over 12,600 computer sessions, as well as over 31,000 Wi-Fi sessions. To stay up to date, the library added 8,800 items to its collection and the issuance of over 1,000 library cards. By offering over 275 educational programs, the attendance was nearly 5,900 for youth and adults. The summer reading program was a great success in 2018 with the participation of over 330 children, 36 teenagers, as well as over 240 adults. The children logged in nearly 1,300 hours of reading, while the teens logged in over 660 hours. The court and judicial service for the residents of Garden City are provided by the 21st District Court. Our court is located inside City Hall and is served by the Honorable Judge Richard Hammer and a staff of dedicated clerks and court officers. Each year, the court is rated very high in the annual survey conducted by the Michigan Supreme Court. The court was found to be accessible, prompt, fair, and that the citizens were treated with courtesy and respect. We are proud that our court has been ranked among the top performers in the state. During this past year, the court, the police department, and the city administration worked together to be awarded a grant of approximately $107,000 to help the court with appointed attorney access. This is an excellent example of cooperation between all units of government to serve our citizens. As we consider the success of our city, we must include our school system. Garden City Public Schools continues to see increased student achievement. Out of the 33 public school districts in Wayne County, Garden City Public Schools has the 4th highest third grade reading scores on the M-STEP assessment. Our third grade reading scores are above our neighboring districts. This past year, the school district had achieved a positive fund balance. With proper funding, Garden City Public Schools has worked to improve facilities by installing new tennis courts and completely renovating the track and field facility at the high school, as well as installed new playground equipment at both Lathers and Memorial Elementary Schools. In addition, to keep up with student interest, Garden City Middle School continued to add additional sports with a new girls volleyball team and a boys wrestling team. School safety remains a priority focus for the school district, with numerous staff members participating in ALYSE active shooter response training, which was facilitated by the Garden City Police Department. I am proud to say that our school district continues to live out its creed of student-focused, team-driven, and globally competitive with a hometown spirit. Without a doubt, a great partner in our city's success is the 70-year-old Garden City Hospital. As the city's largest employer, with 1,200 employees, the 176-bed hospital boasts a state-of-the-art cardiology facility to support nationally recognized physicians. This past year, the hospital invested in the expansion of medical oncology services, as well as development of a new pain clinic. Facility renovations included an additional 30 private patient rooms and a brand new psychiatric services with a 30-bed unit. In 2018, the hospital offered over 8,300 inpatient services, over 59,000 outpatient visits, and 45,270 ER visits, and over 3,300 surgeries. As for our Parks and Recreation Department, headed by Dan Plamaden, it was a very busy year as they completed the update of the 5-year master plan for the department. This update was needed for the department to submit a grant application this spring through the Department of Natural Resources, targeting a $500,000 grant award in new playground equipment. 2018 saw over 150 adult softball teams compete in City Park during the spring, summer, and fall sessions. In addition, field upgrades were completed to the 9 Little League fields at Moeller and City Park, totaling over $16,000 in improvements, made possible with funds from the Wayne County Parks Millage. The installation of a new compressor system and a concrete floor at the ice rink made the system not only more efficient, but also more usable. Other than saving money monthly on energy costs, the concrete floor will now allow for numerous uses over the summer months when the ice is not in place. In 2018, over 50,000 visitors came into the ice arena, participating in programs ranging from Learn to Skate to adult hockey. I am proud to announce that the 3rd annual Great Bacon Run, held this past August, was a great success. We had a record of 474 participants take part in the event, attracting over $12,000 in sponsorship money to host the event, raising $4,000 for the Garden City Youth Sports Organizations. As always, we owe a great thanks to the hundreds of coaches and volunteers who support our youth sports programs. 2018 saw the Communications Department become involved in several new activities and functions, while continuing to accomplish its ongoing responsibilities. The Communication Department has excelled at its primary job, communicating information to the residents of Garden City. Using the social media platforms of Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram, the city's website, Nixle, a new video board in front of City Hall, a monitor in the east lobby of City Hall, and the city's cable television channel, GCTV. The city has been able to keep its residents informed. The website itself, GardenCityMI.org, had over 123,000 total visits in 2018, while the city's 10 different Facebook pages had over 15,000 followers. Videos produced by Garden City TV that ran on Facebook had 154,000 views in 2018, led by the Garden City DDA Santaland Parade with over 10,000. In addition, all properties in the city that receive a water bill have also been receiving a copy of the Garden City Buzz. This newsletter is full of information about past and upcoming events, as well as information regarding timely city services. Beyond the annual Santaland Parade, the Communications Department additionally helped promote the first ever Santa Ride, which saw Santa Claus, with the help of the police and fire department, travel around Garden City the week before Christmas. With an aggressive campaign before the ride and Facebook updates during the ride featuring Santa's location and live video throughout the night, the event was a great success. There were over 5,000 views of the actual event live and over 1,500 views of the video produced showing highlights gathered from the event. Department Director Dan York, along with Assistant Christian Gibbons, combined with part-timers, community volunteers, and interns, produced everything from single-camera videos to 8-camera live productions. GCTV continues to be a benchmark for community and government programming in Michigan. The Communication Department spearheaded the Roads Millage informational campaign that resulted in a passage of a 5-year, $15 million bond that will be used to improve the community's infrastructure. Residents can go to a special webpage at GardenCityMI.org/roads that houses information on the progress and how the money is being spent. Another new Garden City activity that started this past December was our Letters to Santa program. For the first time, Santa accepted letters in a special mailbox that was placed in City Hall during December. The report we received from the North Pole was that Santa wrote back to over 75 children in Garden City. 2018 has been a great year for the city of Garden City, but to add to our successes, this past fall the City Council recognized Garden City resident ALYSE MADEJ in becoming Miss Michigan USA. Good luck to ALYSE, as she will now represent Michigan and Garden City next summer at the Miss USA pageant. Helping lead the development of our downtown area is our Downtown Development Authority, also known as the DDA. The DDA spent 2018 involved in ongoing maintenance of the downtown district with the installation of hanging baskets of flowers, the placement of flowers at the Commons corner. The downtown decorative street lamps and streetscape amenities also received a much-needed painting. During the holidays, the DDA decorated over 90 trees with lights, as well as refurbished the 26 holiday lights that appeared on the downtown light post. This past year saw the DDA reinstate their facade parking improvement loan program by continually urging property owners to upgrade their facilities. Several properties along Ford Road near Middlebelt underwent facade improvements last year. With a new brickwork, paint, and windows, a signage grant program was also created and implemented to assist our eligible businesses with the cost associated with new signage. Downtown events presented by the DDA include the Flea Circus, which helped license dogs and allow easy access to low-cost vaccinations, and the Lucky Squirrel Flea Market event. The DDA also hosted the 3rd annual Trunk or Treat, where the DDA partnered once again with the Garden City Business Alliance to bring the community and our business owners together. The 11th annual Chili Cook-Off and Car Show raised thousands of dollars that was distributed to 4 local charities. The Chili Cook-Off draws thousands of people downtown each year, boosting the bottom line for many of our businesses. In addition, the greatly attended tree lighting ceremony on the corner of Ford and Middlebelt is also presented annually by the DDA. During this past year, Garden City businesses started investing into the future. Not only did Planet Fitness open at the former Kroger location, but LA Fitness has finished its preliminary work on possibly redeveloping the former Kmart facility. After 10 years of negotiations, the city and McDonald's has agreed to build a new, unique-looking McDonald's on the corner of Ford and Middlebelt this spring. 4 other significant facilities that started reconstruction in 2018 include Domino's Pizza, Big Boy's Restaurant on Ford Road, and the former Albert's on the Alley on Middlebelt, and the former Roma Hall on Cherry Hill. Garden City is positioned for a wonderful development, but as we look forward to the future of Garden City and in support of the Garden City Business Alliance, I want to remind everyone, keep the green in Garden City. Whenever you are in search of a restaurant to visit or you need to make a purchase, please support our Garden City businesses. One of the great things Garden City has going for us is our volunteer base, which includes coaches, senior program volunteers, boards and commission members, business owners, civic clubs, and organizations. Without these valuable people contributing their time, Garden City would not be the strong community that it is. 2018 was an exciting year for Garden City, and our City Council and employees remain committed to excellence in providing the best services to our residents and guests. May God continue to bless Garden City. Thank you.